Hi, I'm Brett and I've got a video update for you today on the performance improvements on the new Forester TS. And today's date is July 2016. This model has gone on sale recently. Most people call it the Forester STI, but to be specific, it is the TS model with STI enhancements. And down beside me, you'll see a whole range of parts that we're fitting and testing on this particular car for a Subaru dealer, replacing the STI KYB struts and pink springs with some MCA shocks. We've got the factory standard exhaust system on the ground with the new MRT exhaust. And what we're going to show you is some of the mechanical improvements from a performance and a power point of view, and just why we can deliver that reliability and power. And remembering the kit that we're fitting to this car is the upgraded kit. There is an XA and an XB and an XC kit available for the Subaru Forester range, but because the Forester in Australia is only sold with a CVT transmission and not a manual transmission, we don't recommend the XC kit. We only do the XA and the XB because the XC kit puts too much torque through the transmission and can cause long-term transmission reliability issues. So let's just talk about the car from a performance upgrade. Then I encourage you to check out our other videos where we've spoken about the suspension, and also we're talking about the car as a whole. So with the XB kit, or the XA kit to start with, the XA kit is the maximum reliable power that we can deliver with no mechanical mods, meaning you don't have to spend money on an exhaust system. You still get the benefits of the MRT lifetime warranty on the new car warranty features with the car. You get all the benefits of the money back performance guarantee on performance. The only thing that we must touch on is the warranty is conditional with the transmission, because that's the one thing that we can't control on how you drive the car. But from our R&D point of view, it is something that we encourage you to carefully consider when you're looking at upgrading this car. You don't want to upgrade it too far and then cause yourself transmission problems, because the CVT transmission does have a limit on how much torque it can take. So let's not dwell on that fact. Let's dwell on the performance improvements and what we can deliver. And you'll notice that the car sitting behind me, we've removed the factory standard exhaust system, and yet we have left the factory mufflers in place. And the reason why we leave the mufflers in place is, like the WRX with the twin outlet rear mufflers, the single outlet rear mufflers on the Forester still flow a good amount of gas, and the gain in performance by replacing these is only about 2 or 3 kilowatts, and doesn't represent a worthwhile cost replacement to replace these with an aftermarket muffler. So our XB power kit is a complete exhaust system, except we don't change the rear mufflers. So from a good point of view, it sort of looks nice and stealthy. It keeps costs down because you don't have the cost of the replacement of the rear mufflers. You don't sacrifice any performance because they still flow good gas. And the other thing is, the rear mufflers combined with our exhaust still sounds really good without making the car ridiculously loud. Because Subaru went to the 2-litre DIT direct injection technology engine in 2013 with the twin scroll turbo that I'll show you in a minute, it is very, very difficult to get a good exhaust note out of these new model cars. Gone are the days with the boxer beat that was so popular with the old non-direct injection EJ series engines, the 2-litre and the 2.5s. So part of our R&D process with this particular car and the Subaru WRX, like our other R&D car, was to get a good exhaust note combined with the exhaust system that we replace. So the reason we then have on the ground here, you'll see the original factory exhaust joins the rear mufflers with a wide joint at the back with a gasket in here. And then our exhaust system here also comes with brand new gaskets and bolts onto the original factory mufflers, keeping them in the original position. And then from here forward, we use a complete 3-inch exhaust. So let's just focus on what is in the factory standard exhaust first. From the back, you've got the rear mufflers, the wide joint, the rear exhaust hanger, a centre resonator assembly, which because of the increased cabin space on the Subaru Forester, they have quite a large resonator to reduce drone at freeway speeds. And then another smaller muffler up the front here, a bracket that bolts onto the rear of the CVT transmission, catalytic converter, and then it goes around the corner into a primary catalytic converter, which also has the rear O2 sensor and the front O2 sensor as part of the front assembly, which is then bolted onto the turbo. And this part here is what collects off the back of the turbo and down into the catalytic converter. And if we have a look up here, you can see this is the outlet of the turbo here. And I'll take some still photos so you can see this a little bit better. One thing to keep in mind when you are doing an exhaust system on a Subaru of this model, these exhaust studs are really prone to giving problems. You need to take your time when you take them off. Even factory fitted, they do strip and they do break. And you also notice here there is an earth strap, and this is commonly overlooked by some aftermarket exhaust manufacturers, which bolts onto the back of the exhaust system on the factory system. And also I'll make a particular note of the location of the lower radiator hose. So the reason why I point that out is you have a look on the Subaru part here. It's got a lot of heat shielding on it to keep the radiant heat off the bottom of the rubber hose. And you'll also notice a little bracket here for the earth strap. And then when you compare it to the MRT exhaust, we have a large collector that comes off the turbo, correctly located, identical to the factory position O2 sensor. And then you'll notice we have a heat shield. Now a lot of other manufacturers don't put the heat shield in place, but we believe it is really, really important from a long-term reliability point of view to keep the radiant heat, because this here, when you're driving the car hard, can glow cherry red and can cause a lot of long-term problems with damaging the lower radiator mount, radiator hose. And then up under here is where the earth strap bolts on. And then of course we've got another fitting here for the rear O2 sensor. And then you'll notice down here we use 3-inch exhaust, but to keep the exhaust system as high and as tight as possible, to maintain as much ground clearance as possible, we neck down the 3-inch exhaust slightly to provide some clearance to the body, because if you don't get that correctly there, when the car drives and you put the car under load and the engine moves, this part of the exhaust system can actually hit the bottom of the cross member. High flow catalytic converter in the original factory position. And then around the front here, you'll see, as per the factory setup, we use a bracket that bolts onto the rear of the transmission, identical to Subaru. And then this part here is a flexible joint, because you've got to remember from here forward, all of this part here is bolted onto the transmission and the engine, and that all moves independently of the body, whereas from here back, this part of the exhaust system hangs off the chassis. So like the Subaru exhaust with a ball joint allowing movement between the front half and the rear half, we have a similar design ball joint here, which independently allows the front half of the exhaust to move from the rear of the exhaust. A lot of aftermarket exhaust systems don't have a flexible joint in there at all, and this is something that we're pretty proud of. Nice big center resonator to reduce the drone, and then of course all around the back 3-inch exhaust before it goes down to a custom collector into the rear Y pipe, and then it fits in with the original factory rear mufflers. So what does that do? One of the things that's important to understand is when you fit an exhaust system onto these models, you will give a small improvement in performance, but you won't get the maximum improvement in performance unless you custom tune the factory ECU as well. And as part of that upgrade, we use a race ROM tune with the factory ECU, custom tuning the settings for the direct injection, the ignition timing, the fuel delivery, as well as the cam timing, and also most importantly is the boost, because one of the fantastic things on these particular model cars is they have a twin scroll turbo, which is a very responsive turbo and provides a lot of opportunity for improvement. And on the Forester model compared to WRX, it's very detuned, allows a lot of scope for us to improve the performance over and above what the factory delivers as a car here in Australia, and then gives a massive increase in performance. So one thing I'll also touch on, which we spoke a little bit before about, and in another video we'll talk about it in detail, but this is the CVT transmission. And again, I just want to remind you, it's really, really important that when you're choosing a performance upgrade with your Subaru, with the CVT transmission, that you choose very, very carefully, because you can damage that transmission if you don't know what you're doing from a performance upgrade. So with all of these parts, that comes with the XB kit package. You'll notice we don't do an air filter, we don't do a blow-off valve, we don't do an intercooler, because those things provide only very small incremental changes in overall performance. The packages that we design at this level, you don't need a modified air intake to deliver reliable power. You don't need a bigger intercooler to get reliable power. You don't need a blow-off valve. These are all things that are options that you can improve for other features and benefits separately, which we can talk about on another video. But as part of this package, we only supply what you genuinely need to get the reliable outcome, and I encourage you to go to our website where you can download a power kit document which will show the dyno graphs, and I'll load some more info to this video for some still photos to help you understand just exactly what you can deliver, so what you can expect to be delivered when you get this kit. Features and benefits are lifetime warranty on the part, so if you own the car in 10 years time and there's something goes wrong with our exhaust, we fix it for free. Comes with the new car factory warranty guarantee, which I spoke about before, and remembering you need to be careful with your CVT transmission because this model doesn't come with a manual transmission. Comes with our noise guarantee. Now, one thing is, we're the only workshop to my knowledge that still gives a noise guarantee. You can drive the car for 30 days. If you don't like the noise of the exhaust system, you come back to us. We'll put the factory standard exhaust system on, or we'll try and modify the exhaust to meet your needs, or if you want to, we can actually refund you back to the XA power kit level. So when you choose an exhaust system, that may be something that will help you have peace of mind, because to my knowledge, nobody else gives a money back guarantee on noise with their exhausts. And of course, you get the performance guarantee as well. If you don't think the kit gives you the value of money for what you expect from a performance upgrade point of view, 100% money back guarantee on that as well. So there you have it, the Subaru Forester TS with the STI enhancements. If you're looking for some other upgrades, we do other things as well, brakes, suspension, other body kits as well. But for other technical tips and upgrades, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. I encourage you to go to our current website. We've got some fantastic links to our other videos, and also you can see all the parts that we recommend for this car, and you can download the power kit document with all the dyno graphs. But for today, I hope this video has helped you understand more about your car and wherever you are in the world. I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.